Happy BC Day. Enjoy your long weekend and have some fun, but be safe. I'm going to review the Joyetech Teros 1. I'll show you a couple other things while I'm at it. But these guys, Joyetech sent us one of these ones for the purpose of review. I like it. I want to like it more than I do. I've been playing with it. I really like it, but there's some minor details. Now I'm wondering if maybe this little sample pack, sample pack, maybe they haven't ironed out all the details yet. I'm hoping that my little review will help shed some light on it. It's kind of cute, little pod system. Easy to fill up. Tiny. You know, it's a 2 mil tank. This one's a 0.5. It even says on the side. I wish it said what material it was, whether it was Canthol or nichrome or whatever the hell it is, but it says 0.5 ohm, 9 to 13 watts. I guess depending on how much power you put through it. Well, you can adjust the power on this guy, which is really nice, and a lot of companies have been doing it. The Geek Faith Flint does it, the Z-Beep does it, and now this little fella that's just a little bit, you know what? I got one here. This is for building coils and stuff, not for lighting cigarettes, because I don't do that stuff anymore, but a little bit of hot glue, and it makes coil building a little easier. But check that out. About the same size as the lighter, maybe a little bit wider. You get the idea. Press this button, and it's gonna light up the color of the power level that you have. Press it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and it'll change to green. Press it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and it changes to red. So, what does it say about that? 3 power levels, high, medium, low. It's nice. You can kind of customize it to you and how you like to vape. Let me show you the vapor production. I'm actually quite impressed. And I don't know if it'll show up on camera or whatever. Turn my lights. You say that it's glass. I like the English on here too. Visual feast from glass panel. Intense contrast from brightness and darkness of glass offers a visual impact to you. It's fun. This one's funnier. Child-proof filling system. Filling process becomes even more easier and leaking protection even more better. I love it.
More better.
More better. Anyways, let's show you a little bit of vapor production, and then I'll, so red is the slow, low, stop, gentle. Decent. 1, 2, 3. It's on blue mode. Decent little vape. I prefer it on blue mode. 1, 2, 3. Now it's on green mode. There's actually a decent amount of difference between low, medium, and high. So that's where they probably get that 9 to 13 watts. Things I like, things I don't like. I really like how Vaporesso's done it. A few other companies have done it. They've all started to kind of adapt it. And I like it, but I don't like it where it is. So this little fill port on the bottom, this guy right here, let's see if I can shed any more light on there somehow. Yeah, it's kind of like a stainless steel little hole there. You take your bottle of juice, and I'll never be able to get this on camera. Well, maybe I will. So I'm just pushing my bottle, and it pushes down. See that little action right there? That is the action of opening up, and I wonder if you'll be able to see it inside the pod. It opens a little valve, and that valve allows you to insert your e-liquid, fill up your pod. The reason I don't like it where it is, it's on the bottom. And when you're done filling it up, it leaves a little drop of juice in there. So you do have to be wary, be mindful, take a little piece of paper towel and suck that up or whatever. See a little bit of juice out of it. But what happens is it gets on the inside of your device, and if any of you have any experience with vaping, that is usually what ruins these devices. Now, it's not a whole lot of juice, but over time it's going to accumulate, and eventually it's going to get into the board and fuck up your mod. I do have it on the lanyard. I have been nerding out and wearing it around my neck, and I've been finding I pick it up more often than not. Especially when I'm driving, it's right there. I just pick it up and have a vape. It's not always convenient to use one of these while you're driving around or doing stuff or whatever. So, nice little device. Now the other thing that's 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, back on blue mode. Other thing that's a little bit upsetting for me with this particular device, and I believe it has something to do with the vacuum holes. You see the two little vacuum holes here? Those two little holes in between those two little contacts match up with the two little vacuum holes in the middle. Great idea, great, I love the vacuum switch idea, but watch. As I vape, this light will come on and indicate when it's actually firing. So I do like to mouth the lung my devices. So if I mouth the lung, see that? It could be my wiener little lungs that don't really put out enough vacuum or something, or just the way that I like to vape or whatever. But I like to vape the way I like to vape. I don't want to have to change for the device. Now for some people, or most people, or whatever, mouth the lung works perfect. But for that, mouth the lung, not great. It just seems to cut in and out. And I don't know if that's because those little vacuum tubes on the inside of the device are not quite long enough to match up with the pod. I believe if the pod, those little holes were more flush, it would be closer to those little vacuum switches on the inside of the mod, and it would probably fire up a lot easier and quicker. Not a big deal if you're a mouth the lung or a direct lung vapor, but for me, when I want to mouth the lung it, see what I mean? It kind of isn't sensitive enough. Now, if you made it more sensitive, would it auto fire and do stuff like that? I don't know. Maybe Joyetech has a reason for doing it that way, but I believe it would be as easy as changing out these pods, maybe changing out the way that airflow works. Anyways, I've gone on long enough about that. The other thing that I had concerns about when I first started using this device was how loose this pod is. You put that in your purse. Sometimes I put it in my purse. You reach in there, and it would be fairly easy to knock the pod off, right? It's a vaporizer. You should be looking after it, but I don't know. It could be a little loose. I did do the flick test, and it is possible to fire that pod right out of the end, but likely it's not going to happen. I can give it a good shake, so I think I'm just being a little picky. But, throw it in your pocket, and it's really... My suggestion, there's 2 magnets in the bottom, right there, and they attach themselves to this little steel surround. I think my best suggestion, if you could get a magnet on that side where there's nothing really going on right there, if you can get a magnet and they polarize the right way, which might make mass production a little bit more difficult, if there was another magnet and it helped hold that pod in there a little tighter, it may make things a little better in terms of holding that pod in there. But aside from that, the size, the shape, the style, that glass look, where it kind of gives you that holographic look. I think it's a really nice device. Looks like they come in green, blue. Guess I got the green one. Does it say green? Okay, unless I'm missing it. 15 watts. Oh, it is. Emerald green, right there. Wish I would have got the blue one, because I do like it. I am probably going to order some pods for myself, and I don't know, I'm on the fence. Should we bring some in for our customers? I think it's a really easy device to use, probably going to be really effective for brand new vapors. A 0.5 ohm pod, pretty good amount of vapor. Coming out with maybe, say like a 0.2. Obviously it's going to put out a little bit more vapor and kill your battery a little quicker, but I believe that that will touch on some of the more cloud chasey type guys, people. And probably coming out with like a 0.8 or a 1 ohm pod would be a hell of an idea for brand new vapors and stuff. So I haven't heard anything about pods or different pods or any of that sort of stuff. It says that it comes with a 0.5, and that's about all it says. It also says that it's a 2 milliliter tank or pod, 650 milliamp hour battery, and it's 64.5 grams. So it's not a whole big device. It's nice and pocketable. It disappears in my hand. I think I'll probably bring in 2 or 3 and see how they go. Not everybody vapes like I do, so maybe people will enjoy it differently. The other thing I'll mention is I started out with, and I'm not a salt lick user, but I started out with a 50-50 blend at 15 milligrams, and I ran about 2 pods through it, and it was pretty good, but in 50-50, it did spit at me a little bit. It gave me a little bit of spit back, and I got a little bit of juice on my lips and stuff. Not every vape shop out there has the ability to go into the lab in the back and make a 60-40 or make a 70-30. But good news, this right here is a Max VG. It's I think it's like an 80-20 or something. I've been running a 6 milligram. This will be it's almost empty now. I think this is the 3rd time I've filled this pod. I haven't got any I haven't got any dry hits or anything yet. It's been really good for flavor, and it's running Max VG quite nicely. So, I mean, it is getting pretty low, but I can take 4, 5, 6 hits off of it in a row and still not get a burnt taste with a Max VG in it. So it's pretty versatile. I wouldn't run a 50-50 in it. I would probably run a 60-40 or 70-30 in it. All in all, decent device. Good job, Joyetech. I hope maybe you can, oh! Also, mad props. That's the USB-C. So this thing charges in like 25 minutes. And that little light is red when it's dead. And then 25 minutes later, the light goes out and it's fully charged. Nice work. I did say that I was going to look at some other stuff or show you guys some other stuff. I'm actually pretty excited about this thing too. Do you guys remember the Joyetech Eroll? This is the Joyetech Eroll Mac. It's barely out on the market. They're not doing a whole lot of, marketing and stuff for it. I think they should. They sent us out this Teros one for sample. I bought this one so that I could review it for you guys too. I've been using it kind of alongside of this guy. Now it is different. It is not as cloudy as this one. This one's not a cloud machine by any means. But this one, guess why I like it? Guess why I like this thing? The flavor out of this thing, pretty damn good. Again, 50-50, I'm getting a little bit of spit back. Go to a Max VG, not as much spit back. There's a little bit of a collection in that drip tip, but it's not not making it to my mouth. The fill, I don't know if there's an easier way to do things like this size, but the fill, unscrew this top and then fill it in between the glass and that center post there. Of course it won't clear up for me, but you get the idea. Decent little device. I like this thing. I'm probably more impressed with this than I should be because it brings back memories. All I'm saying? The price is right. It's effective. I find myself grabbing at this thing almost as much as I grab at this thing, and I think this is the reason. You know, I even feel like I need to pretend to light it. Of course, the battery life is not going to be great on these, and I only got the blister kit because they haven't released the other full kit. This one comes with one of these tanks and the charger, which makes things equally as simple. Charges up pretty quick, small battery, lasts for a decent amount of time. Actually, the first tank that I put through it, this will be the second tank, so I just filled it. But the first tank I put through it, I drained the tank until it was almost empty, and the battery was dead. Is that a coincidence? Did they plan on that? I'm gonna have to say bravo, Joyetech, because if you planned that, that's pretty sweet. There was enough juice in there that I wasn't gonna burn it out, and the battery was dead. Also charges up pretty quick. Don't lose this this charging cable because you'll be hard pressed to find another one. But soon they will have the little, it's like a little, maybe a little bit smaller than a cigarette pack, and then this guy, you open it up and you pop it in and it charges it on board. So you get like a, I don't know if it's 1,000 milliamp hour battery alongside of this, I don't know what the hell it is, 250 milliamp hour or something. Oh, it's 180, so it's really low. But if you had that little battery bank that it comes with, you can also store 2 extra tanks plus the one that's on it. So you got 3 tanks with you plus the extra battery bank, and then that battery bank, I'm hoping that they've also done the USB-C charger on that battery bank as well, and that will be an amazing little system. For these guys, the price, inexpensive. I don't have a price on these yet, but I know that these Eroll Macs, what do we got them on the shelf for? 25 bucks. It's a cheap, easy way to stealth vape, to keep that same hand-to-mouth action as a cigarette. Of course, it's a little bit heavier, but I didn't realize that I missed holding a cigarette as much as I did when I got this. It brought back some memories. It was nice. Brandy says it's a little bit heavy for a cigarette to hold it in between 2 fingers, but I got man hands and she doesn't, so. Alright, that's it for now. A lot of you guys have been asking me to do some more reviews and stuff, so here I am. I don't always have time to do them, but today's a nice kind of chill Saturday, so I had some time. I'll throw this up on my YouTube. If you guys would like to like and subscribe or whatever those other fellers say, that'd be great. Maybe share it around a little bit. Tell someone about these new tiny little devices, and maybe they'll be willing to make a change in their life. Ask yourself, what are you puffing? That other stuff that looks similar to this is bad for you. I think we all know that. This isn't great for you, but it's 95% safer. So ask yourself, what are you puffing? Have a good day. Enjoy your weekend.